Nigeria Info, we're back live in the studios this Tuesday morning. I'm Sheriff Quadry. So we've got two things to talk about this morning on the show. We will be starting with the reopening of schools, and then Alesta Wilcox will be joining us later on to talk about the issue of Shoprite and what you have been told, what you have heard, and what you should know about that development. But let's start with reopening of schools because our students are back this morning in their respective schools. Let's have you know that the conversation is in two parts, like I said earlier on the Morning Crossfire today, and you can catch these two parts on Facebook and YouTube at Nigeria Info FM on these two platforms. Nigeria Info FM. That's facebook.com/Nigeria Info FM. The same thing with YouTube, youtube.com/Nigeria Info FM, or just search for Nigeria Info 99.3 on these two platforms and you'll be able to watch live the show this morning. Okay, let's also have you know that you can tweet us at Nigeria Info FM on Twitter. That is at Nigeria Info FM on Twitter. We'd like to know exactly what your thoughts are concerning our conversation this morning as regards the reopening of schools. That's right. So let's start. Schools nationwide finally reopened today. Almost 5 months. I mean, just look back. I think it was around March, April, right? March, April. After the federal government, through the Ministry of Education, ordered the immediate closure of all educational institutions, including even tertiary institutions as well, across the country. Now, this was done as part of measures to curb the spread of COVID-19. Now, after a virtual consultative meeting last week, that was around, I think, on July 27th, between the Federal Ministry of Education, commissioners of education of the 36 states and the FCT, the Nigeria Union of Teachers, they were also part of that consultative meeting. Proprietors of private schools were also part of that meeting. Chief executives of examination bodies and the federal government, they were all part of that meeting. The FG now announced its decision to reopen schools, particularly for students in exit classes. According to the federal government, this is to enable them have 2 weeks preparation for their West Africa Examination Council examination, WAEC, which is scheduled to start on August 17. In June, the Minister of State for Education, Chukwuemeka Wajuba, had revealed that 80% of the response from parents that followed a perception survey conducted across the country by the ministry opposed to any hurried reopening of schools. 80%. When the ministry did a survey, 80% of parents opposed the reopening of schools to experiment with their children. They said, you cannot say that our children that are passing out of SS3 should be the guinea pig. Let me welcome to the show this morning Bishop Sunday Atta. He's the Chief Learning Officer of Mandate Private Schools, Ibarod. He joins me via Skype this morning. Bishop Sunday, a very lovely morning to you. Thank you for joining us.
Good morning, sir.
It's good to have you here. Let me ask you this question, and we're going to be direct and short. I won't take your time at all because we have very limited time to talk about this. How do you feel about schools reopening today?
Well, we thank God that at last school is reopening today, especially the exit class. Fine. The government have tried their best. It's true that the parents as a body and the parents as individual opposed to the reopening of the school initially. It is because our major concern is the health of the children. Okay. Every school owner's major concern is the health of the children.
Okay.
But if we deny the children of their examination, we have denied them of a lifetime asset.
Bishop Sunday, is 2 weeks enough? Do we have enough time? 2 weeks for these students after staying at home for almost 5 months?
Yes, it's enough. One, it's enough for those of us that have been doing online program. Our SS3 students have been in class since January. For 7 months, they have been in class. And in education, we don't keep people in the class for stress 7 months. But we did that because we're always expecting online. We're always expecting that the school will reopen. So we kept them so that they will not be distracted.
Right.
But there are many schools that have not done online at all. For them,
exactly.
2 weeks is not enough. Yes.
So how do we now factor this class of people? Because you said for them 2 weeks is not enough. Is it fair on them to say that we want to go ahead with exams in just 2 weeks? Is that fair?
But because of the claim of everybody, the majority claim that they have been online. So we agree that we have been online. The SS3 students have been online. Fine.
Okay.
Because the state used radio and all that. But I know that our SS3 before March, we have covered everything. Just the revision. But let's see what will happen in the next 2 weeks. If the schools are serious, they will cover up.
Are you concerned about the safety of the pupils and the teachers that will be in class from today?
Yes. Now, as we prepare for the children's reopening, we also prepare for teachers' reopening. Every preparation we are putting in place is for both the students and the teachers. So we prepare this for the students and also prepare for the teachers. Like some of us, we have a meeting with our teachers yesterday. We have trained our teachers. We have trained them on precaution measure. We have done everything that brings about safety. And we are expecting the state government to come around. Everywhere is secured.
You're expecting the state government come and check, especially private schools, on the level of preparation. Were they checked?
Yes. The state government, as far as I'm concerned, and I know of my colleagues, the private schools are ready. We have been ready before now. We are ready for government check. Everything government put down, we have them on ground.
But there was no check, Bishop Sunday. There was no check yet. There was no inspection from the state government, because that's the information we have. That there was no inspection from the state government yet.
They told us. Yes, but the state government told us that they will be going around. So I'm sure that now that school is resuming from today, they will be going around.
Okay. Now, let's take it further, because one thing that is on the mind of parents, I'm sure even you yourself, you must have wondered, how do you intend to prevent these pupils from mingling, from relating with their friends when they see themselves after months of being away? How do you intend to do that? How do you intend to manage that? You're laughing.
Yes, Mr. Quadry. The reason why I'm laughing is the truth is that it is difficult to tell me that if we have not met for months and we see ourselves,
it's difficult.
And yes, it's difficult. We see ourselves, we not hug ourselves, we not touch ourselves, we not greet ourselves. It affects their psyche. But because of the education we have been giving to them on WhatsApp, to parents, because everybody is careful. Even now, like yesterday, some that came to school yesterday for their registration, everybody is careful. They are very careful. They are afraid to shake. They are afraid to touch. So it's just like that. But by the grace of God, we'll be used to it, especially with the senior secondary. We'll manage it.
Exactly. Now, as much as it's very important that children's academic future should not be entirely put on hold. I mean, nobody would say that, let's not go back to school like forever. Nobody would say that because of this pandemic. But then again, Bishop Sunday, we have to face the reality. How willing and prepared are the children themselves? Do you think our children are ready to come back to the classroom?
Yeah, Mr. Quadry, every child is ready to go back to the class. Because look at these same children, they are with their parents in the shop. They are with their parents in the market. They are with their parents everywhere. So they are not even at home. We are just claiming that they are at home. The parents cannot keep them at home because they go to their business places. Since the school is not in place, they go to market with them. Some of them are the ones selling in the shops with their market, in the market with their parents. So they have been mixing with people. Just that we just claim that they are at home. They are not at home. Some of them are using their parents' devices in attending online classes in their parents' office. So the children have been out.
Indeed. Before I let you go, we'll open up the phone lines and talk to Lagos for like 10 minutes. And let's hear what Lagos has got to say concerning schools reopening today. Because I'm particularly concerned that the state government has not gone to schools to inspect exactly what schools have put in place as we welcome back, especially our SS3 pupils back to school today. It is very, very concerning. Alfred is joining us this morning. Alfred, good morning to you.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Alfred.
Yes, I've been listening to the program. I am somewhere on the island as I speak.
Okay.
And I'm seeing hundreds of students. In fact, I'm only holding myself back to snap their pictures. You can see not a single student is wearing a face mask. One, and all of them are clustering together, shouting, screaming, and other. When I heard that man saying that they are going to regulate them, it is rubbish. They are not regulating anything. Just come outside and see students the way they are behaving. We are endangering these children. That is the simple.
Alfred, thank you for the live report that you just gave this morning. Bishop Sunday, this is just plain and simple live report from what is going on out there. Children mingling, no face mask. Nobody's, according to the person that just called in Alfred.
Okay. For public school, for any other school, it can happen, but for our own school, without face mask, you can't enter the school. Both the parents that are bringing their children this morning and the children themselves, everybody follow the protocol because we have trained them, we have sent messages to them, and we check them at entry. And so everybody is prepared. All our children that are coming, they are wearing face masks.
Indeed. Let's see if we can get Olumiwa on the show this morning. Olumiwa, good morning to you.
Yeah, good morning, Sheriff.
Good morning.
This is my take. Why this hurry for? Is it because of money or what? Because to me, I have passed through primary school, secondary school, and university. Even for the fact that we are going to school every second, it is not even possible that we pass all the exams. So this hurry that we want to push our children into, does it mean that whether they pass or they fail, WAEC will give them all the credit they needed? Because I don't understand. By the time we push them in pressure because of money, at the end of the day, maybe somebody have just 2C. Are they going to increase that their C into 7C? And I know the man will answer that question.
Thank you, Olumiwa, for calling. If you're tweeting us this morning, please add hashtag Morning Crossfire to your tweet. That is hashtag Morning Crossfire, so we can be able to trace your contribution and take your contribution on the show this morning. Bishop Sunday, I'm going to come back to you very quickly, but let me speak quickly with Chika, who is in Lekki this morning. Chika, good morning to you.
Yeah, Mr. Quadry, good morning.
Good morning to you.
Mr. Quadry, I can tell you that you are just there. This is just a total selfish idea.
I will not allow you insult my guest. Just go straight to the point.
I'm sorry.
I will not take that. Yeah.
I'm sorry for using that word. Okay, but the truth is this: he's only interested in the private school. You just mentioned that. What about the public schools?
But he wasn't the one that opened the schools.
Where are we headed? The last speaker asked a question. Is it just to take the paper that they've taken WAEC? How can you subject these kids to come and take? Okay, you said they are afraid of each other to touch one another, and you want them to enter exam hall to take WAEC. We all took WAEC in those years, and we need the kind of preparation we had. At the end of the day, people still failed. Now students will just go and take an exam. The teachers will solve the questions for them, and they will pass. Where are we heading to? Advanced countries have not even opened the school. Here in Nigeria, we only have some money. Proprietors want money. They want the children to come and pay money. I mean, this does not make sense. Let us keep our children at home. Continue. It's not all about the exam. It's all about the exam.
Thank you, Chika. I appreciate it. Bishop Sunday, let me come to you very quickly before now. You can see yourself. You can feel it. You can hear them. Nigerians talking to us this morning. It seems that majority still don't believe that we should allow our children come back to classroom, not just yet?
Yeah, yes. Mr. Quadry, I so much appreciate anybody, even when anybody insult
No,
me.
we will not allow
I don't
that. No, we will not allow
Yes,
that.
but the truth is that I am not the one that called for the reopening of the school. But I have been with, I've been running school for years. The truth is that when the children in SS3 now, when they came to JSS1, Ebola stopped them. They are the Ebola kids. Now they came to SS3, they are the Corona kids. They have been, I feel them. They have been worried. They have been so much concerned that why is it their time? Now, if anybody is saying that the children should remain at home, it is not. You will discover after this period, you will discover that it is not Corona. You look at a state in Southwest have resumed school since, and they are even closing for the third term.
Right.
You didn't hear that any of them were infected. Churches that have resumed, they closed church down. Church have resumed in all over the country, except Lagos and Ogun State. We have never heard that there was an infection or there was a crisis in any church. Now, market have resumed. They've not told us that social market, there was a crisis in social market. It is not it's not that SS3 students have paid their school fees first and second term. Nobody is paying school fees in SS3 now. It's not because of money. It's because of their posterity, their future. Right. And that's what we are not concerned. We are more concerned about the welfare, the health of the children than money. It's not money matter. They are not paying school fees now. They pay their school fees now before. So we are doing everything to make sure that we don't leave a stigma. We don't leave a memory with them that this one did not write their WAEC. It will affect them. It will affect their future. That is the major thing. It's not because somebody is hungry, somebody wants money or so. So we are doing everything to make sure that these people write their exam. Nigeria is the only country that is not ready for this exam. Other countries of the world, of the West Africa, they are ready for the exam. If Nigeria, they would have started in August. So let these children write their exam. But schools to be careful, schools to be conscious to follow the NCDC protocol to make sure that we manage them to write their exam. Right. And for those that have boarding school is the best. Once a child is screened and enter the school, no going out until he writes exam. Right. And so it's not entry police balls. It's not like what I did in my school. Everybody is coming to the hostel. Every child is coming. SS3 is coming to the hostel. Some teachers are already screened. They are coming to the hostel. They are going to stay with the children. No visitor is allowed. No parent is allowed to visit the children for this period. So we are managing them, and God is going to help us to make sure that they write their exams.
Before I let you go, Bishop Sunday, I must say you've done great, really. But let me ask this question that a lot of parents are thinking about, and even guardians are thinking about this. Would you say that we should have had them subjected to COVID-19 screening? I'm talking about our students and our teachers first before we resume, or there was no need at all to have had a COVID test carried out on all our kids who are SS3 coming back to school and even their teachers. Where do you stand on this? COVID-19 screening before resumption or no need?
Well, they would have done that before today. They would have done that before today. But as it stands now, all the children have gone to their schools. It depends on the state stand. I don't know how they have been doing screening. It depends on the state stand on the screening. But the truth is that the children have all gone to their school. Some have gone from Lagos to Kaduna. Those people in Unity School, those people in boarding school. Right. The different places they have gone. So whatever the state decide, it's okay. But I want to let you know that these children are protected. Nothing will happen.
Okay. Bishop Sunday, thank you so much for joining us on the Morning Crossfire today. It's been awesome having you talk about the schools reopening today. Bishop Sunday is, of course, the chief learner. Bishop Sunday Atta is the chief learner, chief learning officer of Mandate Private Schools, Iba Road. Bishop Sunday, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
All right, and we wish you best of luck, and please keep safe and keep our children safe as well.
I wish you the same. Thank you, sir.
All right. There you go. Bishop Sunday Atta of Mandate Private School, Iba Road here in Lagos, joining us on the show this morning to talk about schools reopening. We have a special report done by our newsroom. You'll be hearing that subsequently in the day's broadcast. We'll go on a break right now. When we return, we'll try and explain to you, break everything down, what you should know about Shoprite's situation. We have an economic expert on the show this morning that will be shedding light on that just after we return from this short break. Stay here on the Morning Crossfire, 99.3 Nigeria Info. I'm Sheriff Quadry.
The best of talk radio.
The courts are congested. That is why the Lagos State government have decided to create a special court called the Sexual Violence Court for special operation of rape cases. And that is why you see that the conviction rate in Lagos State have increased.
Keeping you informed all day.
Let's finally talk about the Premier League and this meeting they should be having later today. Clubs will have the most thorough discussion.
About 1.2 million people who are living with HIV are on treatment in this country. It's a great number to have.
Your favorite dial, 99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk. Join the conversation no matter where you are. Download our mobile app by searching Nigeria Info FM on the Google Play Store and the Apple App Store. Also, get news updates in sports, entertainment, news, and current affairs right on the app. 99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk. This is Morning Crossfire on 99.3 Nigeria Info.
99.3 Nigeria for Lagos. Good morning to you. Now, let's talk about Shoprite issue. I won't even waste time because we have just a little under 30 minutes to go on the show. Zila Kariwe is here with us. Lester will be joining us much later on the show. But let's try and talk. Zil, good morning to you. How are you?
Morning, Sheriff.
It's good to have you here.
Thanks.
It's been some time, right?
Yes, it's been a while. It's been a while. Yes.
Zil, by the way, is an economic expert and also a financial expert. He's a founder. Is it Graham?
Graham Black Advisory.
Graham Black Advisory.
Yes.
Wow. What do you guys do there?
We focus on, it's an advisory firm. It's a risk management advisory firm. We focus on risk management using derivatives.
Okay. Come and pay me now. Let me manage your PR for you.
We'll talk offline.
That's this guy. Zio, let's talk about Shoprite. So, Shoprite has spent about 15 years in Nigeria already. And yesterday, we were hearing stories about Shoprite closing down, leaving Nigeria. You are in this space. What do you know?
Well, all I would say is I don't think the information coming out is complete.
Okay.
And so it tends to be misunderstood until it is complete. It doesn't sound like the general atmosphere is as if they are shutting down, closing shop, and exiting the country. What it's looking more like is that they are changing their model into a franchise model. So the same way we have other brands, for example, if I can mention this, I have to mention
Yes,
it,
please do. Please do.
for example, KFC is not in Nigeria.
Okay.
But we see them.
Yeah.
They are not here.
Yeah.
Somebody has a franchise to operate under that name. And so Shoprite seems to be moving to that same model, where people would have the franchise to operate using their name or whatever. So there is no doubt. You cannot divorce whatever decision they've taken with the difficult atmosphere doing business.
Now,
you can't divorce the two.
Let's talk about that.
Yes.
The difficult atmosphere. What makes it so difficult? I mean, we have businesses everywhere in Nigeria, right?
Yes, we have businesses everywhere. But you see, let me put it in 5 or 6 categories of the issues a business like Shoprite would have, where you have to import a lot of things and retail.
Right.
One is we have a significant amount of inefficiencies around our import procedures. To start with that, and I'm not saying. I just like to use the word inefficiencies. Anybody can understand it to be what it is.
Right.
2, right now we also have inefficiencies around sourcing liquidity for foreign exchange.
That's Forex.
We also have inefficiencies around pricing the foreign exchange, which the central bank in the recent times has tried to converge all the rates. But before, when you are planning, are you doing, as of 3 months ago, were you doing 306 or 360 or 380 or 400?
Yeah.
So those are what I call the inefficiencies. You also have the logistic inefficiencies, moving things around, the transport infrastructure.
Right.
How do you move things around? Do we have mobile cold rooms? All those kind of logistics infrastructure. We also have a significant amount of ambiguity around tax.
That.
Yes, and we've seen
that
in recent times between stamp duty and FIRS and NIPOST and this issue and that issue and licensing. All those are what I call early money moving from the people outward in the direction of government is what I'm bulking as tax. So those issues are significant in terms of making the environment harsh. There is also, this would not apply to Shoprite that's been here for 15 years or so, but a lot of new businesses that close down quickly. There's a misalignment between market size and population. A lot of businesses come in and assume a percentage of the population is the market size. They don't realize until they get in that the population in terms of market sizing is insignificant. It's inconsequential.
The purchasing power is the main thing.
Exactly. So when you look at the population as large as ours, people assume there is a market correlated to that population.
Is there a market in Nigeria or not?
Oh, there is a market. It's just not correlated to population.
So you're confusing me.
So we have 200 million Nigerians,
Yeah.
and somebody says, "Well, I want to do this." If you have 200 million Nigerians,
Yeah.
and half of them are in this age bracket, therefore I have a market in that age bracket.
Yeah.
But you see, you have to discount the fact that 70% of the population lives below the poverty line. They don't have any purchasing power whatsoever, other than buying water or air. They cannot buy anything else. So you don't have them as a market. Of the ones that are left, how many of them have disposable income?
Right.
After they've paid for rent and transportation, what do they have left for all those kind of... So by the time you strip that out, you're going to find that maybe your market size is 1.5 million when you were projecting 40 or 50.
Is this what happened to Shoprite?
Shoprite has been here too long for that to be an
exactly
excuse.
my point.
But I'm
So-
just saying this is an aside from Shoprite, but it is a real issue.
So the reason why I asked the question is because it seemed like a lot of people were talking about. I spoke with a couple of your colleagues in that space yesterday, and some of them seem to think that it's actually a whole lot more than what Shoprite is letting us believe the reason why they're leaving Nigeria, like for 15 years, excuse me.
Until they come out, I think in another week.
Are they ever going to come
I
out?
think in another week, all the information will be out there because there are pockets of information circling. But in about a week, all the information will be out there and then we can know exactly what's going on. But will they be the first company exiting the country? They won't be. They're not. Will there be other we know things like the Sun Group left, the Intercontinental left.
Yeah.
We know, a lot of companies have
Yeah.
found life difficult in the country and
Right.
left. Tiger Brands came in. I don't think they lasted 2 years. And they left.
With so much noise, by the way.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So the companies come and go for different reasons. The environment is harsh. There's no doubt about that. The environment is very, very harsh, especially for foreign entities. But that's not the only reason a company leave. A company can leave because they have a good offer.
If you look at the ease of doing business index released recently, you see Nigeria ranked very high. So one would have
No,
thought
we've risen. We're not ranked very high. We've risen significantly.
So one would have thought that the climate is getting conducive. Or what does it mean, the ease of doing business, really?
Ease of doing business measures something entirely different. Ease of doing business does not measure how easy it is to get your business done. It talks about how it talks about the legal process in setting up your business, seeking redress, and getting bank loans, things along those lines.
Right.
It's not talking about ease of
running your business.
It's not concentrating on running your business. No, it's about the legal procedures, the paperwork.
Yeah.
What laws do you have that enable businesses? So, for example, Corporate Affairs Commission moving registration of companies online improves the ease of doing business. That I can register online means I can set up a business easier.
Right.
Does not mean I can run the business easier. So those are different. People misunderstand it to think, ease of doing business means if I start a business, I can run it in perpetuity. No,
Right.
It's more around the documentation and the legality around setting up the business and the legality and documentation around running the business.
What is the optics like?
What is what?
Optics, Shoprite, living.
What my personal suspicion is, because the announcement seemed rushed. It seemed sudden, seemed rushed. What I suspect, I don't have any fact to back it up, but what I suspect is they probably had a regulatory requirement to make an announcement and a deadline to make an announcement on the Johannesburg Stock Exchange.
Right.
And so possibly they realized if we don't do this announcement by this date, we can't go ahead with this action.
Yeah.
Because it seemed rushed. What would have been a natural business announcement would be, we've taken this decision for this reason and we're doing this.
Yeah.
But see that last bit?
Yeah.
They haven't said that. Who's buying it? It's now coming out as rumors. So the fact that they are so close and they made the announcement incompletely makes it seem like they had a regulatory requirement to meet in Johannesburg.
Will it have any impact as to what other foreign business owners or investors, what they would think about Nigeria, doing business in Nigeria?
I don't think it will be significant for foreigners. I think the impact is more significant for Nigerians, what Nigerians think about themselves, as opposed to, I don't think there's anything going on in the country regarding the business environment that's new to foreign investors.
Yeah.
So I don't think this is any shock to them. But I think it's the Nigerians that want to, and you know how we whichever direction you want to spin it that the country is crumbling. You use Shoprite exiting as an excuse.
Yeah.
Somebody else who wants to spin it that there's good and viable opportunity will use the same Shoprite leaving and saying a Nigerian business is buying this over, which means it is viable. It depends. It all depends on your state of mind personally.
I get what you're saying.
Whichever you want to spin it, you want to spin it as disaster, it works. You want to spin it as good fortune for a Nigerian business, it also works.
Indeed. Zio, let's get some thought in on the phone lines, and let's look at our WhatsApp as well for people to jump on this conversation. If you are an economic expert, you can jump on this conversation. If you've got questions that you'd like to talk to Zil about, especially the event that started yesterday, I won't say it happened. It just started. We've not even seen half of it yet. You can call us on 0700 993 993 993. That is 0700 993 993 993. Or just send us a WhatsApp message. The WhatsApp line is 0809 597 5805. That is 0809 597 5805. on WhatsApp. So let's talk to Prince this morning. Hi, Prince. Good morning to you.
Hello, Sheriff. Good morning.
Good morning to you.
You are welcome on board.
Praise, good morning.
Yeah. To me, when I heard the story yesterday, though I don't know, it look like side by side whether it will be good for us or not good for us. But I think it's a right step. If they can go, let Nigeria stay alone and let us occupy those places and boost our economy, because I don't think that is a good gesture for them coming here and occupying and taking some our values back to their nation. Maybe if Nigeria can occupy that space, I think that would be a good. But we need you to lecture us on what is, whether the good or the bad coming for it. Thank you.
Okay. Zio the lecturer, you're going to lecture also the good and the bad of this development. Innocent is joining us right now. Innocent, good morning to you.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, Innocent. Talk to us. We're listening to you.
Okay. Please, I want to continue to the program going on.
Yes, go on, Zio. Yeah.
The Shoprite that want to pack up or close up in Nigeria.
They are not closing up.
They're not packing up and closing up.
Okay. Whatever measure they want to take anyway, do you see that the condition here for someone to thrive in business is very, very low? Look at the Naira has been devalued 2 times this year alone. The cost of charges in port is the highest in the world. The NEPA is not there. And not just working. You see, I don't understand. What I'm saying that all this loan now we are crying for, can't it be used to fix at least something like NEPA, refineries, special industry, or that thing that can pay back for the loan, so that we can last like a job for the youth. Why are we just so on self-destructive status all the time? Why? This is a company that's having job all over the federation, creating job for the youth. Now they are trying to close up or whatever.
Right.
Why can't we just focus our attention and resources on things that will give us future? Than really look at the charges in the wharf.
Yeah.
Look at Naira. Look at the Naira is now 460 to $1. Look at NEPA. It's not anywhere. No road. Nothing. When will all this stop, please? That's my contribution. Thank you.
Thank you, Prince. Appreciate it. Innocent, rather. Thank you for calling. Appreciate it. Let's see who else we have got here. Oh, wow. Time is so short this morning. We've got a packed morning. Benjamin is joining us. Benjamin, good morning to you.
Yeah, morning, Sheriff.
Good morning.
Morning to your guest. First of all, I would want to talk about what's it called, the school resumption. You know, because I listened to the interview you had on Skype.
Quickly, please.
Yeah, and you know, what would, like, to me, what I would say there is like we're too much of in a hurry to kind of resume schools.
Okay.
That's just my take on it. Too much of in a hurry. And with the Shoprite thing, which your guest in the studio is explained, your guest just made my eyes open to when you're not informed, you're completely ill-informed. You understand? Because he threw light on, made me to understand that Shoprite is not really leaving Nigeria.
Right.
There are reasons why they are doing what they're doing. Talked about the franchising of the thing, which made a whole lot of sense. And for me to just cap it, please, I want for him to drop his contact. You know, if before
you've got questions. If you got questions, I say if you got more questions, right?
Yeah, I would love to. I would love to really have a link to him.
Okay. All right, I got you. Thanks for calling. Zio, there you go. You have to drop your contact before you go.
No
but quickly, let's make something very clear, Zio. All we've been talking about this morning is that Shoprite is not packing and is not leaving Nigeria.
That is so. The impression created, especially on social media, is that they are closing shop and they will no longer exist and people will lose their jobs. Again. No, that is certainly not what is happening. Let me give 2 examples in the recent past. Many may not even know, but it happened. Fort Oil was sold last year.
Yep. And you still see
Fort Oil is still there. It was sold.
Yeah.
Mobile petrol station, Mobil Oil,
Yeah.
was sold. It's now Double One. That's what it's called on the stock exchange.
What?
Double One.
Oh, okay.
Double One PLC.
Okay.
Many people don't know. You go around, you still see Mobil.
Okay.
So when a company is changing ownership or changing model, it's not the same thing as they are frustrated and packing up. It's not the same thing as what the Sun Group did. Tiger Brands did. That's different. They were frustrated and they packed up and left. Shoprite is changing model. Again, like I said before, we cannot divorce whatever business decision you take from the environment you operate in. We're not saying the environment working or operating in Nigeria is fantastic, but let's not make it seem like a disaster that is they're packing up and they've closed shop. It's not quite the same thing.
Is the economy healthy?
Is the economy healthy? You need to ask the...
No. I'm asking you. I'm asking you.
Well, you have to define the parameters of health before we can discuss it in general. But
for businesses,
there's a lot of opportunity. Some people are doing very well in business. Some people are doing very bad. Is the economy? Is the business?
Don't pull the advisory thing. Don't just pull the advisory.
Let me answer
thing.
what you're asking.
Yeah.
Is the business environment difficult? Absolutely, it's very, very difficult. And that's what everywhere I spoke at the beginning of the year, I said 2020 is a VUCA year, and this was even before COVID.
Yeah.
There's going to be a lot of volatility, uncertainty, complexity, and ambiguity. All those things have become a part of doing business in Nigeria. It's a harsh terrain to do business.
Could we have avoided it?
Some of it we could have avoided if we planned early enough. So, for example, what I like to say is that imagine a child does a mock exam and fails.
Yeah.
It's not so bad because it's a mock. In the real exam, they ask the child exactly the same questions that they asked in the mock, and the child fails again. That is the real disaster.
Okay.
So as a country, we had a mock exam in 2015, 2016 when oil prices suddenly crashed. And we were saying, let us not waste a good crisis. We had the opportunity to rebuild the economy, and we didn't. We simply didn't. And now in 2020, barely 5 years later, we're having exactly the same problem we had in 2015 without the reasonability to address it any different from the mistakes we made in 2015.
If Shoprite can say that they want to sell their stake in Nigeria because it's no more conducive for them, for their business model, are we looking at a domino effect here? I mean, we don't have too much of FMCG companies applying.
Shoprite is not an FMCG.
They deal mostly in fast-moving consumer goods.
Yes, they're
right?
So FMCG is usually they're in that sector.
Yeah,
but they are not a manufacturer.
Right.
So if, for example, a Nestle said they were packing up, or a Cadbury said they were packing up, packing up as in shutting down and exiting,
closing their doors,
that would be a big deal.
Okay.
But again, selling. Let's not forget, WhatsApp sold to Facebook.
Yeah.
Companies get sold. So it's not such a big deal. Let's not paint it as to be what it is not. Is the environment harsh? Yes. Have they decided on a different model that they think is more profitable to them for whatever
after 15
reason?
Years, after 15
years, yeah. I mean, that's
it's
not
part
a
big
business.
deal.
With the information we have, I think we're jumping the gun, making it a big deal. With the information we have and what they've said, I don't see the big deal. If the company is changing ownership, this happens. This is regular. This is not new information. Companies change ownership.
I really am glad that we've been able to educate a lot of people this morning on the show. We'll just take a few more calls because we're fast running out of time. Hello, good morning to you.
Hello, Sheriff. Good morning.
Good morning to you.
Good morning to your guest.
Good morning.
This is Pastor Ladipo calling from Tarigo. Yeah, my case this morning is that even if they are going to change ownership, people will still lose their job. I know someone that works with Fox Oil. When the ownership changed, some of them lost their job. So the reality is that the economy is very harsh, like your guest has already said. This nation, those policymakers, they should look deeply into this thing. If it's not speaking grammar and all of that, it's all about making the atmosphere conducive. Very conducive. I want to tell you something. If you start a small, maybe business center business, come and see how many bills you'll be receiving from local government. You have to pay for lock-up shop, pay for this, pay for that. At the end of the day, every profit, and yes, so you'll be the one to power that place because there is no regular electricity.
Right.
So in a small scale, if people find it difficult to make it as it's supposed to, how much more at that large scale?
Thank you very much for calling. Bolanle is here. Bolanle, good morning to you. Hello, Bolanle, are you there? Bolanle, we can't hear you. Do try and call us back. Good morning to you.
Good morning, Sheriff.
Good morning.
Good morning to your guest.
Good morning.
This is Chris.
Welcome, Chris.
Please, my contribution is that the House of Assembly or the National Assembly should try to make it work for Nigerian industries and those who have employed people. Because if each company begin to lead like the last caller said, even if Shoprite leaves or there's a change of ownership, they are bound to lose some of their workers.
Right.
So if our lawmakers can take a time out and see what Nigerians are going through in this nation, many people are suffering. Them saying in Abuja, the decision or laws they make, they are only made to take care of themselves and not the poor masses. So they should try to make laws that will benefit this nation, those who create jobs, those who have spend their hard-earned money to employ people. So they should try, because like we all know in Nigeria, NEPA is not working, no road. Even those who may produce one or two things, to get their raw material or materials to do it is very difficult. So the condition of Nigeria is very difficult.
Thank you so much for calling me. We actually need to make this very short and straight to the point. Zil, I've got a question for you on Twitter. Joy Forever on Twitter says, Zil, why can't companies last long in Nigeria? Why are Levantes, National, Kingsway, and so on? Our space is too caustic. Look at our roads. Your business thrives if you patronize government. Things will get well. Because that's the sentiment. A business will only survive or last the test of time if you do business with government. Why should it be so?
It's not.
It's not entirely true, right?
It's not entirely true, but I see where she's coming from, and I wouldn't say that is not true. But there is government is seems to be the biggest patronizer of a lot of businesses, and I agree that's not the way it should be.
Right.
But in terms of why don't businesses last long, I mean, let's not be too short-term minded. Let's look at First Bank.
Okay.
It's been around for over 100 years.
That's right.
Let's look at Guinness. Guinness has changed ownership. It's now Diageo. Not many people know that. Let's look at Nigerian breweries. Has changed ownership. It's now Heineken.
Yeah. Unilever is there.
Unilever is there. So, I mean, let's look at Lafarge. Lafarge was WAPCO before.
Right.
It's been around for, since I think before independence or around independence. So let's not make it seem as if, is the environment harsh? Yes. What I think we should try and do is have the discussion in a slightly more structured manner. Okay. Let's use Shoprite's changing its business model as a good trigger to have a discussion on infrastructure and business. Okay. But let's not say because Shoprite is doing this is because there's no light. There's not been light for a long time.
Right.
The businesses are still, I mean, you go to the large manufacturers, the flour mills and all that, they are still there. They don't have light, but they generate their own power.
True.
I'm not saying that's ideal, but let's divorce the two issues. Is the business environment harsh? Yes. Is infrastructure dilapidated? Yes. Is it suboptimal? Yes. Let's deal with those issues as a discussion. They are valid discussions to have, and let's have them. But let's not tie this, because what if we keep tying the Shoprite incident into infrastructure, there are too many loopholes and there are too many gaps. It's not going to stick.
Okay.
So let's have the discussion on infrastructure in the harsh business environment, the power issues, the road network issues, the FX issues, the logistic issues. Let's have that as a business environment discussion.
Yeah.
And then we can then say other companies that have left because of this issue. Some companies have left because of tax ambiguity.
Yeah.
Some companies left because of what they call government bullying in terms of expatriate quota and extortions. Yes, we have all those issues. But for discussing Shoprite, that's a totally different discussion.
It's totally different.
And for people saying you will lose your jobs, let's not forget, yes, some companies come, when new management comes in, they bring in their own team. For everybody that loses their job, they replace the person. So net result will likely be a balance.
Okay.
So if I come into a company today and you want to make me the MD, the current MD will lose his job and I will get a job.
Let's break something down very, very quickly, Zil, because we're out of time. I hate... God, we should have longer time. So another argument when this thing broke was that, I tried to explain to a lot of people, shopping mall, very big. Shoprite itself is just a part of the entire shopping mall.
Exactly.
What does this mean exactly? Is it that the entire, if we're talking about Shoprite selling their steak, who does it?
Shoprite is a tenant in the Palms. Let's use the Palms, which is
let's use the Palms.
You.
Yes.
Shoprite is a tenant in the Palm shopping mall. The mall is a mall.
Yeah.
People come there and rent space. Shoprite rented space in the Palms. So if it's a change of franchise, a change of model where somebody will franchise it, the person will keep the space and keep the store and keep the design and sell whatever the person is selling. If the person wants to be successful, the person will also keep the vendors.
Yeah.
So what's going to change may be a boardroom change.
The management side.
I don't know if the name will change or what, but it's just the business will continue. A perfect example. If we remember Chicken Licken.
Yeah. Oh,
Chicken
my
Licken
word.
came, Chicken Licken left, and we have Chicken Republic.
Yeah.
Same shop.
Cheers to that.
That what happened behind the scenes is a different story. But you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Did the franchise expand after that? Yes. The name changed, the structure changed, the franchise agreement changed.
There's only for the panic, basically. Zia, we have to go now.
Yes,
Our time is fast spent. Thank you so much for coming around.
Thank you, Sheriff.
You should come here more often, man.
You should invite me more often.
Okay, I'll do that. I'll do that. Zil, by the way, it's a friend of the house. He's answered our call today. Zil has an advisory company that he calls Gram what? Gram Black. Zio Akariwe, thank you for coming around.
Thank you, Sheriff.
All right. That's the show today, Lagos. Jimmy Disu is next. Just immediately after the news, Jimmy Disu Daily Digest up until 1 solid hour with Jimmy Disu on air. All right. Stay tuned for that one. Many thanks to my team, Zainab Yakino, Watunde Abdusalam, and of course, Faduju Olamide. They've been wonderful today. I'll see you again tomorrow at 5. Have a fantastic day. Bye for now.
Join the conversation no matter where you are. Download our mobile app by searching Nigeria Info FM on the Google Play Store and the Apple App Store. Also, get news updates in sports, entertainment, news, and current affairs right on the app. 99.3 Nigeria Info.